All right, I'm going to try and work out these settings. Maxi, I don't know if you can hear me, but I've just hang on. I just got to try and work out. Yep, there we go. I can't hear you. Where are we? I can't hear you. Extra camera, screen share, like a video, blah, blah, blah. Settings, video. Soup, test one, soup. Yeah, I just can't hear you. Hang on, let me look over here. And I might have my phone on mute. Hang on. No. Can you hear me? Give us a thumbs up. Yeah, I can't hear anything from you. And I'm joining on my laptop. No. So I've got my mobile phone over there. I can hear the audio on my computer. I can't hear audio on my phone. Hang on a sec. Fuck technology.
Hey, look.
That's because I had the laptop open and again, and the mobile going at the same time. I'm like sitting there.
Okay.
Hi, brother. Hi.
I'm good, man. I have to turn off the other thing. I basically had to get on my laptop, so invited you, and then I had to approve myself, and then delete myself, and so I guess we'll do it on this. And finally,
It's the first time I've used rescreening. Apologies for the fucking noob mistakes, but yeah, you fucking learn.
That's on me, man. Like, I thought I could be cool enough to start learning as I go along, but people probably don't really I mean, I think this is probably gonna turn into a whole thing where I'll just cut the parts where it might actually get interesting. So you're gonna have to get interesting, and so am I. Which, maybe, I don't know, take our clothes off, start dancing. I don't know, what do people watch these days?
Yeah, fuck yeah. Like Jane's here, so I can get her to film, like, or I can go to a private back room and fucking sort it out from there. Anyway, fucking, how you been, brother? So last time I seen you was in Miami.
Yeah, I've been good overall, really good, really good. I'm focusing on my health because I kind of went too hard for too long, and my body's just like, hey, 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 hey.
Yeah, time to pull up.
Yeah, yeah. So I've been pretty much focusing on kind of like getting on the horse, doing, I don't know, getting into the art world proper, sort of, kind of, I don't know. It's such a thing to like Dubai thing. I guess we're all still as NFTs. We're sort of like the bastard child of the proper art world still, in a lot of ways, from what I hear.
It's that. It's not just Dubai. It's everywhere, man. Like, aside from the little cliques and fucking, subcultures we've got kind of forming around the streets in our local areas or whatever, but it's, surprisingly, we just got a write up. So a friend of ours, or an old friend, more of an acquaintance, he's a traditional art writer. So he does a lot of kind of street art, graffiti writing, and all that kind of stuff. But I hadn't spoken to him for quite some time, and he's. I just seen yesterday he'd posted a story on us and when we had the break in, and which was kind of like wicked, And he said, they're an NFT digital art gallery, blah blah blah. And it's like that's for him. He's very, he's a very, a literate kind of person, and for him to kind of start write an article about an NFT and digital art gallery was kind of like, all right, cool. But there are these little things that we do, I think, slowly but surely. And as you're aware too, I don't think it's not necessarily that we need acceptance. It's like the space is what the space fucking is. But it's just nice. For me, it's the perception of the general public understanding digital art as art. We've spent too long fucking scrolling Instagram and fucking all that, where it's a double tap, and there's maybe appreciation's just a double tap and fucking tap tap. So I think getting past that point of there is a value perception to digital art, as in the lack of better words, but as a commodity for the collectors and the investors side of things. And that's already, that's starting to work there. But yeah, I hadn't read up too much on Dubai art or whatever. I hadn't seen any Tez polls, so too much.
Yeah. Right. I mean, it certainly, I think, doesn't help to have. Oh, Jesus Christ!
Oh, that was the fucking best. What the fuck? Was that a canvas?
Yeah, that's my. I wanted to have this. This is
a backdrop.
Holmes's piece. Yeah, I kind of wanted to throw it up there, but I didn't. I didn't hang it because it's usually a different piece, so I just kind of had it. But anyway, I got
Obviously.
my own art. I guess that's kind of fitting. Look, I have this like whole thing set up where there's even a bright light, and that's where I was supposed to be broadcasting from, because it's I got OBS studio set up, but it's just like it's too many moving pieces, so we're just gonna.
So what's OBS? I wouldn't have a clue any of this shit.
I know, it's just, I'm learning it as I go along. It's basically like a streaming software, and technically you can do all kinds of things, like have multiple windows, have multiple inputs, have mics, and because like I had the Oshi Voxel's gallery kind of like set up to go, because I thought I could just import your face and we could kind of like walk through and talk about these things. But I got to figure that stuff out, and even
What's this? This is like your second fucking or third one. How many have you done?
this is the first one, really. Like, I tried to do one with Second Realm, and we actually had a really great conversation, but I did a screen capture instead of because like I thought I could sort of shortcut it as just like a screen capture. So I got the video, but I didn't get my own audio somehow. So it just looks like I'm a mime, and then Second Realm is talking.
It was this fucking big.
Basically. So like, I'm like, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of my style to like figure it out along the way. It's just kind of I realize it's a bit of a cry, the boy who cries wolf situation, because if I'm like, hey, tune in, and then it's just like me being like, oh, what am I doing? That's not very good.
Well, you've got that fucking girl from Ipanema fucking track and everything ready to go. So,
well, I got and I don't even like I like really nice stuff, and this thing is I start crooning here in a bit, but I don't want all the ladies. Like, I don't really have problems with the ladies, because I've
outside. No, that looks like a pretty cool, pretty decent bit of kit, the mic and everything. So
theoretically, yeah, it just doesn't work when it needs to be. And then it's like, have you done interviews in front of these kind of things, where it's just so bright?
Fucking no. Well, we did we were on we had channel 10 news, a national news station in Australia, film us the other week for the break-in and all that shit. And,
I caught a bit of that. I caught a bit of that like it reminded me a little bit of like when Kim Kardashian got robbed in Paris, right? There's like that whole thing. I mean, it sucks to get robbed, but it's like damn, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah. Oh, it's a fucking kind of an idea. Can I swear on it?
Oh yeah, it's whatever.
You're Max, man. I know I can fucking swear. But yeah, no, it was just, look, there was a couple of things. One, we were mostly devastated about the one-of-one art pieces, the traditional physical paintings. I don't like to say traditional, but physical paintings, stolen, and yeah, just a heap of other shit. But it's kind of like the invasion of privacy type thing. Like, they've come in, snooped your whole fucking joint. They turned our whole place upside down, busted up shit, stole a heap of shit, fucking work tools. That's why I'm still working now. I'm still doing renovations now, because we got all our tools stolen, and we're meant to be doing it at the start of the year. But anyway, fucking yeah, it was just shit feeling, because we live over an hour drive from Oshi. So every day we drive 1 hour in, 1 hour back. And so we got the phone call at like 7 o'clock in the morning from our neighbours, and fucking for the first time ever, I've jumped out of bed straight into my fucking jeans, and we fucking flew down here. But like, you've got this fucking dread, because you don't know what you're going into. Like, what have they taken? Fucking, blah, blah, blah. And unfortunately, and the worst part of it was our insurance fucking lapsed the month before. And we knew, we got a warning. Like, we got a, fucking email warning, like, hey, your insurance is lapsing. And we're like, yeah, cool. We were just fucking busy. Like, November, we had Dead Fellas and MetaMask exhibition, and then we went into the Tyler the Creator thing with Golf Wang and all that shit. And we're just fucking flat out, and we've forgotten about it. We forgot to fucking renew it. So that was the more painful part. It was kind of like that morning, Jane's like, GT, like, we've been fucking robbed. And I'm like, what the fuck? First thing, it was like, fuck, did you pay the insurance? And she's like, no, did you? And I'm like, no, fuck. We're stressing for 1 hour fucking drive to Oshi, And yeah, it was just gut wrenching, man, because we had a killer fucking end of the year. Like financially, finally it was like, fuck yeah, we're going to get paid. Jane and I were just like, we're going home with some fucking money this year, like wicked. And yeah, all that money got fucking drained, basically, from what we had to do to fucking. He's the lovely lady here now.
Hello. Hey, Ryan. I'm in, but there's a little bit of a lag. So
picture.
Look at you, handsome lads.
There's the meta.
Well, I need to get. Wait, hold on. Let's try this little trick.
It's on.
All right.
Wow. Oh, look at that. There's meta on meta fucking right there. The fuck is going on?
Inception.
Yeah, anyway, man, like we got just got over it. The cops got all over it. They got a few traces on the people, but they can't. They need like that serious fucking proof. So we're just kind of waiting now. So yeah, just whatever. You got to move on. We were gutted over it in a couple of days and got on with it. But,
I mean, the community come together and
yeah, had like a couple of local artists. So Marker and Zam artists. So I'm sure you've seen Zam before. I think you've blocked him.
Yeah, BS as it happens.
Zam loves to troll. He's a troller. He loves it. But anyway, so they did a bit of a raise with dropping an NFT and shit. I think it raised about one K, and then fucking Cosimo got on the fucking bandwagon when that news article came out on Channel 10, and that raised us like another $5,000 Aussie, which was fucking amazing. It's like helped us put the money at least back towards paying the artist. Like our shit that we've written off is that our shit's got stolen. It's just is what it is. But it was more like we've got to fucking, because we were custodians of that artwork. We were holding it in stockroom for those artists. So we had to fucking buy it off them. And some motherfuckers got it in their house. One of the artists actually, and he's quite a renowned UK artist. His name's Pure Evil. He said to Jane, he goes, don't worry about it. He goes, I'm just stoked someone was willing to steal my work and liked it enough to steal it. And he's quite a fucking up there artist. He's basically him, Banksy, fucking all that are all connected. So we had an exhibition with him a good few years back with a previous gallery, and we still had some works left over. But yeah, it was just fucking one of those things, man. But what do you do? Like, we're not going to sit down and go, well, that's it.
Well, I mean, I feel like selling these things is going to be a grand challenge because, I mean, I kind of get it when somebody like steals a Picasso, right? Because then that has like a very long historical blah, blah, blah. But I mean, what is it like at some dude's secret lair in a cave where he just invites like other evildoers and he's like, look at the shit I stole, and they're impressed, and they go sacrifice or something. I don't understand the mentality of stealing something that's like contemporary, and what's the point,
Personally, I think it was they just liked it. They looked at it, went, that's cool, I want it in my bedroom. I don't think it was for a black market flip or anything like that. It was just more of like, hey, that's cool, I want it in my fucking house. So
I mean, now I kind of wish my shit was stolen, so I could be like, I'm gonna send you something.
Yeah, well, that's not really. What you're gonna send it to me?
I'm just saying, like, if somebody's willing to like go through the even like risking their own liberty to get a piece of your art, you know what I mean? Like, this is like a weird take on like value, and you know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, what do you like air tag that shit, and in the future, or like?
Yeah, fucking RFIDs, man, like linking to GPS, fucking sat nav shit, and we've done that before with previous artworks, like that where we've had all that shit done, and that was more for other people, um, but look, we've you know, the simple thing is that they were stealing the art based on aesthetic, which is kind of cool. They're like, this looks dope because there was more artworks here. And they've taken the pieces that are fucking dope pieces, but you know, I was like, all right, cool. So you know, they've stolen art for art's sake, if you will. But, yeah,
Art for stolen art for art's sake. Okay, yeah. It's such a thing, right? Like the Dubai show was like, okay, 20, what the year that was it 20? Well, like one of the years they had like different themes for what happened in the year, and that was like art for art's sake. And I kind of been thinking about that. Like, what does that even mean? You know what I mean? Because like even for me, I feel like art for art's sake doesn't necessarily like. I'd love to, you know, to live in a world where it's all like magical puppies and unicorns and rainbows, and I get to make, you know. But it's like it's almost it's a tough thing mentally to disentangle from the art market because it's like, am I making art to sell? Am I making art? Obviously, I'm making art to sell. So it's like it's not art for art's sake at this point anymore. It's art for the sake of me being able to, you know, travel and do cool shit and meet and hang out with people. And
it's one of the things that first got us into it, like 2017, when that was Rare Skrilla with his Art on the Blockchain podcast. I forgot the other person who was on there, Ruth or someone. Sorry, I'm probably butchering her name, but that hearing that for the first time, and because predominantly our previous galleries were based on kind of subcultures and emerging cultures like graffiti, street art, shit like that. And that to me, this is where I see that kind of simile in between the crypto art ethic in, like, it's not anarchist, but it's about freedom of, you know, putting your information out there and your artwork out there, whether it sells or not isn't important. It's more like that graffiti culture of going, here's my shit, there's my provenance, that was on that wall fucking, you know, in 2021, in fucking 1998, whatever. And that's where I started off as a kid. You know, graffiti was what I did as a 15, 16, 17-year-old kid. And then went on to kind of street art sculptures and shit like that. But
see, and so like speaking of that, right? Like a few years ago during Art Basel, I drove down there, right? And because we were talking about is essentially like expression, permissionless expression of whatever with whatever you got. And a lot of people like don't have the money, so they buy like a spray can and just, you know, throw that up. And like I love that, right? So when I drove in, I think it was 2 years ago, and everything was covered in just a stupid fucking Bored Apes. I was really pissed off, right? Because
yeah, I remember it where someone kind of buffed a Bored Ape over a legit fucking.
Like I was driving to Miami and it was everywhere. They basically like mass printed that crap and put it on everything. And I was like, what you were actually covering up some dope shit, you fucking assholes. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was just such a gross commercial, obviously sort of move. And I'm like, would have rather seen what the hell was underneath that was like by somebody local or somebody that's in town, instead of like a pasty of you know, a generic pasty of the Hollywood pump.
Yeah, and what was the hard thing about that was that it was, you know, at that time Bored Apes were the representation of the NFT community in the media.
Yeah.
You know, that was the representation that everyone kind of looked at and went like, that's what NFTs are. And it's kind of like no, like there's the fucking rest of this shit over here. There's art and there's design.
Yeah, I mean, I look at, so like for me, there's a few artists where I'm like, man, that is art. You know, because for me, it wasn't about, oh, let's make art about the blockchain. It was, let's make art and then use the blockchain to disseminate it. And I think that like that was for me, that was a big move because, you know, and it sort of the meaning of crypto art and what it was back then was basically like art about crypto. And then I was like, well, no, let's make it art using crypto. And that was kind of the big, and I really wish it would have taken off more. And I think there are pockets where that's what it's about. And it is about like, it's about, you know, almost like traditional. So I'm like, I have to pee really bad because I've been drinking a lot of coffee to stay up to get this. So,
yeah, like it's what 11:30. We were meant to be doing this fucking 4 or 5 hours ago.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm going to be replaced by a smoking gremlin. So you can speak to. I think Elated is here. Let's see. There's a few people on the. Just pretend that's me while I go take a piss. All right.
Yeah, go for it. Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to go for a fucking. Up, fam. I'll take him for. Oh, Max is going for a piss. How about we go for a little spin into the Louvre? This is the like literally taking a moment to show my own shit. We've got Tez, Arvax, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and the OG Louvre, which this is the it's a toilet. I don't know if you can see all that. Is that coming up there? That way, we've got fucking Max Osiris. You're like, fucking what? But these are the toilets we're going to be decking out with everyone's artworks. With a 22-inch screen at world's smallest fucking exhibitions. Go to the Louvre. Is he back? I can't see who's in here anyway. Is there comments on this thing? So, Mr. Gremlin, what are your thoughts on the NFT space? Do you like crypto art? Let's see. I'm going to switch over to actually, know what I can do. I'll put the laptop here. All right, he's coming back.
Hello.
Hey.
That's your sense.
Nothing. I didn't shill anything at all.
Dude, okay, so I just want to give you props for doing the.
Whoever's watching, I don't even know who the fuck's watching, but whoever's watching, I just showed them your Pantone perk.
Oh, nice.
We've got in the Louvre.
I like the Louvre. You know, I was like, it's got a little Illuminati. Are you guys part of the Illuminati?
Yeah, man. You need it.
I missed the last meeting, so
well, we needed. If you go to the Louvre, I'm gonna like shameless self fucking promote, and there's the Illuminati fucking badge of honor. Louvre.au, LWVRE.au. You can fucking put your artwork in the dunnies in the toilets here in Australia for a whole year. It's pretty funny. I just took the guys in. I'll take you for another spin. Come have a look. We've got the gallery closed today because we've just finished up the. This is.
Oh.
Here's the actual toilet. So each one of these will be fully wrapped. I don't know if I can see the screen, but this one here is literally, this is how it will be. That'll be a 22-inch screen. There, we'll get a square 22-inch digital screen. And then when the whole space is filled up, so that's a small, they're about 10 USD for a space that big. That one there is 40 USD, and then this bigger one here, down here is 160 USD. But once this gets to 25% full, we do a 1-week countdown timer. And at the end of that 1-week countdown timer, there's whoever's artwork's in there, we're going to wrap the whole toilet and then come up, look at this. And this is in the OG loop.
Oh, nice.
It looks so good in that fucking frame. Yeah, fucking a bit of fucking DSSL, bit of Mine, bit of Rodness, Giant Swan, bit of Trevor Jones, bit of Crypto Fantasy. If you don't know Crypto Fantasy or Emmy, she's fucking amazing. She's like one of my favorite crypto artists in the space. She's fucking insane. Anyway, what were we talking about?
I was going to give you some props for doing the real thing. You know, doing the whenever I appreciate the little tour. It reminds me of Inner Space Gallery where we had the crypto art shows. Like it was a madhouse of energy, you know. And I kind of I miss that vibe a little bit of just, I don't know, like whenever I saw the bathrooms, I was like, is somebody snogging there yet? You know what I mean? Like, do you guys throw those kind of parties? Like trying to keep it on the polite art talk. So I use a word like snog. Are you frozen? Are you frozen for everybody else or just me? Hello? Hello?
Yeah, we've got the Doge exhibition on at the moment. Well, this just closed, but I fully rebuilt the whole. Do you want me to give you a fucking bit of a tour? Fuck it,
Yeah.
give you a tour.
Appreciate it.
Let's go out the front and see what this is. What Smith Street is in Collingwood in Melbourne. So this is kind of like the heart of the. It's like the heart of art and culture in Melbourne. Like literally, this is the fucking place. You've got people wearing tinfoil hats. So, what's it? Hey, how you doing? I just wanted to kind of congratulate you on the. There you go. We've got all kinds here. It's this is the front of the gallery. Then a little walk up here. We've got the fucking ex-copyright and save as mural. 2 fucking stories, goddamn high.
Is that vinyl or is it painted on?
And we've got the beer garden there, so that's that we close off that area there, set up the fucking beer garden, and then the fucking Doge exhibition. That's my dog. Chili, what do you say? What do you say? What do you say? Shit is flying everywhere. I'm just going to walk out the door. So this is the Doge exhibition we just ran. So we did the full fucking the original Doge. So this was the first ever official Doge exhibition. So approved by Own the Doge and NFT token, so Feisty DAO, and approved by the Doge owner herself, so Kabosu Mama. So we did that. Yeah, it was pretty dope, man. Like, and then we got titles. So this was up here. We've got 3,000 generative fucking artworks. Can't really see it too good at the moment, but there's 3,000 generative artworks, Doge artworks from titles. Then we actually rebuilt the lounge room, Chili, on the couch. Up. So we rebuilt the original Doge couch. Got all that, so it looks like the lounge room and shit. Good boy. And fucking yeah. And we've got all. This is what we call the collector's lounge. So we just have details and info in there. Got the video wall. There, a timeline of the whole fucking thing, and then literally like a case of artifacts on Doge and all that kind of shit. And then if we go out here, let's go out the back of the house. This is Jane's office. This is where our dev works, and this is our kitchen. We just renovated all this shit, so literally all of this stuff didn't exist fucking 2 months ago. So this is now Printoji. So we've got that building. So this is now our print room. Oh, Jane's out here in the print room. So these are all the Doge prints we're doing at the moment. So they're the official Doge prints. Jane's trimming them up and shipping them. There's our beast fucking fine art printer, 12 color. Look at this, baby. Look at all those colors. Ooh. Ooh, violet. Like, come on. This machine fucking prints like an absolute gun. And we've got our other shit. And then this is our backyard. So this here, it's all in renovation mode at the moment. It's kind of like pretty trashed and shit everywhere because we only started. This was a double garage with a car lift in here 1 week ago, or just over a week ago. So we're going to deck out here. We get artists that come in and sit at the tables out the back here. It's a bit of a mess. And then this will all be decked out. So it's kind of like the print cafe type thing. And then this is fucking sunny Melbourne. Just nice. It's a good grass at the back. Yeah. That's it. That's a tour. That's it. We need to get your ass over here, man.
I know. I want to do a takeover, man. I think it'd be really fun just to do a takeover down there. I mean, I almost went to Melbourne. I've only been to Australia once, and it was only for 2 days. And I was going to drive to Melbourne, but ran out of money. So
then this is upstairs, man. This is so this is where we do panel talks. We sit like 100 people. We just had a fucking paint the meme workshop. Cool. People come in and paint memes of all sorts.
Oh, that's
fun. Get kids, adults, fucking all that kind of shit. Yeah, and then that's the kind of view from up here. See the whole projection space, about 900 square feet of projection space, and Lambie's artwork's just fucking amazing. Look at that, so fucking good. There's another fucking favorite artist of mine, Natalie Chow. She's amazing. Fucking Bitcoin. But yeah, and then that's it. Got upstairs, but it's mostly downstairs that we use most of the time. Upstairs is more kind of like educational events, and if we're doing a massive party, we'll open up both upstairs and downstairs. And actually, no. And get that. I'll get back down to. Yeah, so I'd love to do a. We've been thinking about, because Australia is such a hard one to get people out to.
Yeah.
Like, we're fucking far away. Like, it kills us even to go, flying to Miami for 2 of us to go there. At economy, fucking almost hostel accommodation. It costs for 2 of us to go there. It's like 15, 20 grand. By the time we've spent a fucking week or 2, that's AUD, so it's probably about $100 USD. But it's like it costs a fortune to go from here to somewhere else for like a week for an event. 3 or 4 days. It's like NFT Paris. That would have cost me, probably just me going on my own. It would cost me 10 grand. And it's kind of like, you need a fucking job tent, and then there's NFT NYC and fucking all this, and we need to get to these things for Oshi's sake, like just to put fucking here we are, like. But
to hand me an Oshi sticker for my laptop. And I can,
Yeah.
you know, that's one of the little Pepe. It's one of my favorite little.
Well, the Pepe one I've got on my coffee cup here.
I think so. Every time I go to these events and I don't have stickers, which is like because I always just go like last minute. But I'm like, I feel like an asshole when I don't have stickers to like, I get cool stickers.
It's like, fucking, here you go, bro. You want to fucking sticker swap? And you're just like, it's the quintessential artist business card. And it's like,
and it's always interesting for me to like, okay, so how do you, because like, it's like a business, you don't want to hand out business cards with all the crap. So it's kind of like, what can you put out there that is, cool enough? And if somebody sees it, either it sort of visually incepts something that you're about, or, because you don't want to like, even like a QR code, I think on a sticker is kind of lame.
We did one of our first stickers we had an Oshi gallery sticker with a QR code, but we had the cutout of Oshi separate, so you could peel the Oshi sticker and throw the QR code.
Mm-hmm.
But when there's a QR code on the sticker, unless it's fucking embedded into like an AI fucking artistically designed one that looks good, but it's still kind of like, I just want a dope looking sticker on my fucking laptop or on my phone, like that's it.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's even like on this one, I have one that's like a spray can, but it's like a weed company that's trying to like look cool or whatever, and then it's like, it's such a fine line between doing it so it looks cool, and then I like the idea of like it being sort of cryptic, or like even I saw like Robinus's sort of like that weird trash head thing that he's got. So last time I was in New York, I saw one of those, and I was like, okay, it's one of those things. It's like when we have our sort of feud, but I'm like, okay, that's smart. Like that whole idea, and that brand.
If you know, fucking type thing. But otherwise, it's just an aesthetic for fucking anyone else.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, it's kind of like the street art, the tagging, like I live in a city where it's like graffiti is like not a thing. It's not like Miami, right? It's kind of like, it's a very polite town. I'm sure they'd come down hard on you even if you. But there is like there is one artist, and I see them like just tagging everything, like pretty ballsy stuff too. And I'm like, okay, that's cool, right? And it's just their handle, their name, and I'm like, okay, that's solid.
If they've got a fucking good style, like we get hit up on the front window all the time. Well, not too much now, because a lot of people are realizing it's us, like me and Jane. So they're leaving our front window alone. But at the start, when we opened, we were getting tagged up with so I'm just making a coffee. At the very start, people didn't know it was Jane and I opening up here, so they were fucking bombing the fuck out of the window at the front. Some of them used etching Poscas and fucking you're like, you motherfuckers. So I had to polish the fucking glass, all that shit. But yeah, it's like, I don't give a fuck if the tag's got a good style to it, but when it's just like, you look at it, and I know it's subjective, but you're like, come on. Like, stuff. We've got fucking, I tell you, one who's got fucking a solid style is Soffles. I don't know if you know Soffles. He's a pretty internationally renowned artist, like, insane, but we've got friends coming here tagging up. But it's I'm all about the style. If you let's see your hand style, if it's quality, I'm happy to leave the fucking tag on the wall. I'm like, that looks dope. But fuck, man, it's shit. It's shit.
When you were here, did you see like Atomico? Orange. It's like, so like he's probably one of the most prolific taggers in Miami. Like if you like you're wearing a Winwood Walls hat, every single Basel, like, and he does just pretty insane stuff. Like, how can one person tag up as much like real estate in like prime real estate? So like, and he's just, I've seen him like work, and it's just his incredible technique, right? Like he's got the orange really fast, and it always looks fantastic, and it's kind of like that. You know what I mean? Like I hate using business terms for like, oh, it's a brand, but it is. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of the you know it's Mexico, and you know at this point he just gets like I think last Basel he was like flying somewhere, and he tagged up a barf bag on an airline, and it was great because he was able to sell them all like as soon as he landed, because people wanted to collect them. And it's just like, that's the kind of level of like notoriety that I think ultimately like a lot of us are like seeking, is just the ability to like do something like that, and kind of that on that Picasso level of like, oh, boom, I'm going to sign this receipt, and all of a sudden it's worth more than the meal I paid.
I think you sent me a fucking dope video. I can't remember what it was. It was, I don't know, it was probably a year and a half, 2 years ago. It was a something on the, I think the original fucking OG fucking scene in fucking New York or LA. It was some dude. It was an artist. I can't remember exactly what it was, but he went through the history of graffiti and fucking all that.
Yeah, Chore Boogie.
Who?
Chore Boogie.
Yeah, that's it. Chore Boogie. Yeah, that was dope. Like I'm like, fuck yeah, like that's raw. Fucking like, dudes are fucking mad respect for these motherfuckers.
And like meticulously studied. I appreciate anyone who kind of like goes through, because putting together sort of like educational material, and it takes time and dedication and effort. And like I wish there was more sort of the same way that I think people are trying to contextualize like early crypto art. I do wish for there to be more education on like who started the graffiti, and even like the way that he says it is like graffiti is a word used by cops, right? So it's kind of like it has this connotation to it, and it's one of the things that like I love about Banksy is just like he's elevated that to a high art form. And it wasn't just him. Like I love Through the Gift Shop. It's one of my favorite art documentaries ever. Just because it's like real raw footage, and I love the way it's put together. Actually, well, before my I have this is sort of one of my little mini grails is Bat Puppy from.
Yeah.
Do you remember that part in Exit Through the Gift Shop? Where
yeah. Like I remember the imagery. I don't fucking remember that part in the. I've only watched Exit Through the Gift Shop probably once or twice, maybe. I love it. Like it's a great fucking thing.
So this is like an original from the show. Somebody from the UK. I like bought this in the secondary market just because I thought that part was hilarious. And it's one of those like I feel like it's for you must have plenty of those. Like even today, you bought the Mohara or you got the Mohara. Right? Was that a secondary sale? I must have.
I was fucking pumped on that, man.
Because I've
been watching the Creeps and Weirdos for fucking ages, but I was priced out. Every time I go back, I'm like, I've got a bit of ETH. Fucking, I'll go back, and it's like fucking 1 ETH, fucking this, that. I'm like, fuck. And I just sold ENS name at 711.ETH for like 11.7 Ethereum for the meme. I thought, I'm like, fucking. We found a couple of printers that we're rebuilding our print company back to what it was before we sold it in COVID, and literally these printers come up, and Jane's like, well, Oshi doesn't have the fucking money to buy them, so what are you going to do? And I'm like, hold my fucking beer. I listed fucking 711.ETH for 11.7 ETH, and it fucking sold in 4 hours. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, sick. Yeah, that was the amount of money to buy these printers that we're getting. We haven't got them yet, but we're picking them up in there. So we're getting some DTG printers so we can do merch and fucking all that again. So that's what we used to do, tons of it. We used to do artist merch, custom fucking all that shit. And so I found these 2 DTGs. I'm just like, fucking wicked, sold that. But I kept a little bit of ETH. I'm like, I've got to buy some fucking art. Like, I have to.
Yeah.
And I was trying to be smart at the time. And I'm like, you know what? I've got enough money to buy these printers. It's perfect. And I parked it into USDC. That was like just over 2 weeks ago. If I fucking held on to the fucking ETH right now, man, it'd be like, I could buy another fucking printer. Like, motherfucker. You know, me, I would be under this. But I was being like business GT, going, no, you've got the money, you've made good money. Not complaining, fucking still made 50K AUD, but it was like, that's all spent on the printers. But it's just like when you see it and you go, fuck, if I just held the ETH to today, it would have been another 20K for me. But anyway, it's you know, for us, yeah, like I've always put a little bit aside to fucking, like, I picked up your fucking, what's it called? Same day.
Same damn thing.
Yeah, same damn thing.
Look, I have the same thing. I got 2 same damn things right there.
Wicked. Like, as soon as I seen that, I'm like, they're fucking dope. I loved it. It was just straight up, to me, that was straight up like a fucking even better fucking piss take than Pac took with his title fucking drop that he did on Nifty Gateway. We're all there. I don't know if you remember it. They were all the same artwork, but he did different edition sizes. And it was all dropped on Nifty Gateway. And I got one of those and for like $1 and sold it for like 50,000. And I bought the video screen for Oshi and I bought a fucking cart for me. I'm like, well, you know, that was all that Jane and I had ever cashed out, pretty much, in the space, in like fucking 5-6 years in the space. But we always put a little bit aside to fucking go, right, go and buy some artworks, because we've got all our friends calling us now, like all the ones that aren't really into crypto. They're all calling us, oh, fuck, you guys must be killing it. And I'm like, no. I'm like, I've got $100 worth of fucking ETH in my fucking wallet. Well, thankfully now it's 120.
Yeah,
but
I totally
can't hold it, man. I'm fucking either buying artwork or fucking going, I've got to buy something for Oshi so we can, you know, keep this fucking thing going. But yeah, it's so getting your piece was, I think, the first piece I bought, and then Moxara's, I was like, or Mahara, I was like, fucking, I'm like, fuck, I haven't looked at Creeps and Weirdos for ages. 6 months, 8 months, 9 months, 10 months, whatever. I'm like, fuck, I'm going to go back over there and have a look. And that was there, and it was like 0.2 ETH. And I'm like, fuck yes. Like,
yeah, that's a steal for that piece, because that thing, I mean, like, I remember that, seeing it over and over again, you know, like that whole collection. It's interesting to me. I love where their heart's at and what they try to do, which is sort of like a UBI for art, like way back in the day, right? And I feel like crypto art was, to me, a sort of that there was a promise of that, is like, it's sort of like a loose UBI for all of us artists. If we can just keep buying from each other and supporting each other, you know, and I think, like, even with the bear market, it gets a little more difficult, I think, because people are more likely to hang on to their money rather than reinvest it.
It's like, we know, as I've always said, like the you know, NFTs, crypto art, fucking all that. It was, well, NFTs just in general, the technology side of it. It was born from fucking cryptocurrency traders. You know, these are devs and coders that, like, literally came up with this concept. Hey, we can fucking swap JPEGs now. They're non-fungible. Fucking, how cool is this? So they're, you know, they're being bored of fucking flipping ETH in a fucking, you know, when the market's fucking flat, or fucking Bitcoin or any other fucking shit coin. You're like, well, we've got these JPEGs to fucking flip between each other. So it was kind of like this almost inherent fucking speculative fucking, it's first and foremost speculative. And then I think crypto art started taking away from that in a way of going, no, this is for each other. This is for fucking, I'm trading with you, you're trading with me, you're spending $5, you're spending $10. And then it fucking, you know, then the Beeples came in and fucking, we had big fucking sales, and then, you know, a lot of shit. You know, there was things before that, but just, it's still all about money for most people. You know, we all need money to survive. Like you said, you got to make fucking art. That's your fucking living. You got to fucking sell it. You're a business. You know, fucking matters the fucking business. You know, and it's like, but it's kind of like this is the hard thing, and we deal with so many fucking artists over the past decade, kind of explaining this, but it's such a hard thing when you're when you've got that artist mindset, you know, like yourself, and I know it, and, you know, others know it, but it's kind of like, I want to do what I want to do when I want to fucking do it. And I don't want to adhere to any structures of a business or anything. But you soon kind of realize that you're like going like, I fucking have to. I've got to somewhat have some structure. It doesn't matter if that structure is chaotic. That's a structure.
That's the
kind of like,
it's getting a good chaotic structure, right? I'm like, even today, I was trying to explain to my friend that the things that the irons that are in the fire currently, and they're. I sound like an insane person to myself even sometimes, because I'm like, the ambitions are really lofty and just kind of out of this world. And I'm like, I must sound like an insane person, you know, because they're like, oh, really? You're gonna do that? Or that's your, and I have like 8 of these things, you know, that are like probably a full-time undertaking all at once. Like even this whole thing with like the streaming, the software, and you know, I'm just like, Jesus, like this is, you know, like this producing level stuff, and I'm just jumping into it. I think it's gonna work, and it just doesn't, you know, and it's like, and it's just one of so many things that I'm into, or that I'm, and then the other aspect of it is like keeping track of sort of these like worlds that I weave in and out of, you know, like the voxels world. Like I don't spend like I dip in and out of it. Like it was really cool. Elated Pixel had a like a walkthrough the other day, right after like the WIP meetup, and it was great. There was like all like Holdy and I don't even like all these artists that I know. It was like the Met Gala of voxel artists, and usually I don't see that many people like all in one place. It was kind of really, really cool to see it. But I'm like, this is a world that I like bounce in and out of, and then, and I'm sure you kind of deal with that as a, you know, a curator IRL, and then also in the NFT world. It's like they're different worlds, and for me, I'm trying to sort of bridge a lot of these worlds together. You know, but it's a lot. And it's kind of like I can't get super. I can't spend all day in like voxels, let's say, right? Or I can't spend.
but I think that's part of the creative process. Is, you know, where people are like, oh, you've got to have a fucking style and you've got to stick to it. Is, to a certain extent, I agree in that matter. More for the artist's benefit. I look at it as going, if you can nail this style and roll it, you don't have to do it for fucking ever. But you get a bit of a style happening here, play it, learn it, fucking get your skills there, and then fucking move on. Flip. It doesn't matter if your fucking style goes from fucking X to fucking Z and there's no fucking Y in between. But like literally,
I'm having a hard time hearing you all of a sudden.
He's a legend. He's a Melbourne boy. Who works for Tri Gamma. So Bitcoin, it's a platform called Gamma on Bitcoin. They do ordinal and prints, all that kind of shit. Legend. But anyway, like it's in the case where, you know, and I'm the same. So this is why I'm lucky to have Jane, who's over there fucking shooting prints. But because I'm very much the kind of lateral, whereas she's the literal. My lateral will be, I need to fucking go and do something in voxels, or I need to just fucking fly around voxels and see things as a muse, as concepts, as ideas, or just to fucking break away, that creative kind of side of things. Because like my main role here at Oshi is kind of creative direction, just going, what can we do? What's really fucking cool? So you got to have your mind on all these fucking things. And when you're jumping from, in your case, you're doing, you're starting to do these now, and whether you do a fucking 1,000 of them, whether you do 10 of them, and it's like that was enough. You've learned that you've kind of like, that was good to a point where I got what I needed out of it for my art practice, for my fucking self, personal fucking life, or anything. So I think it's a quintessential artist thing to jump between one thing and the other. It's the butterfly effect. But the other one, it's the one that I'm seeing a butterfly and I'm going to chase it, and fuck around with it. Fuck around and find out. But I think that's what I love about the creative process. Like, you just go, well, fuck it, I'm doing podcasts now. Imagine in fucking 5 years, 10 years, like you're like the fucking Joe Rogan of fucking, fucking podcasts and shit. And that could fucking happen.
I'm aware. Like I used to want to be on Joe Rogan podcast, and at some point I was like, I think I probably will be eventually, for one reason or another. And then I'm like, I'll just do it myself, right? Because sometimes all it really takes is just like having the right person on who's got like an audience, And it's kind of like I try not to. Like I was thinking back to when I was living out in LA, I stayed at this house with like stuff, and like one of their like anchor people was this guy who won like 5 different Grammys for like sound design or something like that. And like we would hang out, just kind of like late night. He's working on his thing, I'm working on mine. And like something he's said to me, he's like, is always really stuck, which is, he's like, yeah, I've been to these like big award shows and won awards and all that stuff. Like the only thing I really care about is just like hanging out backstage with people that like are into the same thing that I am. And it's kind of like my memory with you in Miami. It was like, I love it, like as we were backstage with like Sarah and Hoax, and
that was a good guy.
And it's just like, it's one of those like, I can't believe this is my life, it's so good moments, where it's like the music's dancing and it's about art, and there's like One Up was over there and all their people, and it's just like, to me, I don't know, I feel like this art, all this stuff is kind of like glamorized, and in reality it's a lot of work and it's a lot of like, uncertainty and things like that. But like those kind of IRL moments kind of make the rest of it worthwhile, I think. And even, like we had art, or blah blah blah, you called like 01 detractors Muppets, and I kind of said that wrong because we but then like we sat
like I said to you, it's like I can call any of my mates a fucking Muppet.
But I'm like, I feel like it's also kind of cultural, right? You know what I mean? Like it's like in Australia, I'm like, I know this is streaming to things, so I won't say the CUNT word, but it's like, like it's a whole different thing, where it's like in America, it's like, oh my God, it's a horrible.
Yeah, I know. Like I traveled. I spent 5 years traveling around nearly 50 countries, and so I learned a lot. I had a massive culture shock because I was born and bred in a small country town outside of Melbourne. I think we didn't even have anyone with darker skin than me when I've got a tan. So when I fucking landed in LA and seeing like black people everywhere, brown, Hispanics, everything, it was kind of like a culture shock. It wasn't no fucking dramas, but I learned so fucking much from traveling. It was the best fucking experience it could possibly ever do. And this is one, and it goes back to what you were saying before. it's like those IRL experiences are really key. There's certain nuances that and times and moments that you can experience. Like, take us when we were in Miami, like getting to go back to the apartment and smoking some fucking frankincense and just chilling and talking shit. And it doesn't really matter what you're talking about, but it's about the moment. Like we could go back and go, what the fuck were we talking about? Nothing important. But it was just important that we were there and talking and fucking, just enjoying the moment. And I think a lot of people miss that. It's the digital disconnect that I see. And I'm not fucking. I personally dislike social medias. I can't be fucked with it. It's a necessary evil for me to post. I'm like, fuck, it'll get to 6 p.m. here one night. I'll be like, fuck, I haven't posted on Twitter. So I'll write GM, fucking done. At least posted once today. But
that's one good thing is the laziness of the GM. That's
yeah. I try and add a little bit more context to it, like maybe GM from the PM. But it's IRL experiences, and it's this in a selfish kind of way. For Jane and I, the gallery is our social life as well. We spend on average 12 hours a day here. We live 1 hour travel away. So we're spending 14 hours of the day to be here. The rest of the time's like eat dinner, sit on the sofa, maybe check up on emails, go to bed, wake up, coffee, back here. So this to us is like, we have artists coming, we have collectors coming, we have general public coming. And it's a social fucking thing. And it's just something that, and I guess from, my generation, because I'm nearly 50 now. So it's like my generation, I was like the last of the dirt eaters. I was the last of the fucking people that cut around, at 10 years old, you were out on your BMX or skateboard, fucking all that. And it never changed. So there's, I think our generation, I think I'm Gen X, I wouldn't have a clue, somewhere around there. But yeah, it's like, so trying to breed that out of me, and I've accepted the digital life because I love it. It is enjoyable, and the connections, and it was especially came to fruition when, late noughties, the kind of 2005 to 2010 when I was traveling, because it was the only way I could keep in contact with people. Like, Facebook was coming out, all these fucking things were coming out, and it was like, I'm meeting all these people all the way around the world, but how the fuck do I keep in contact with them? It was just, so it was kind of like, that's the amazing part. The fact that you and I can fucking chat, and you're a 25-hour, or you're actually a 30-hour flight from me, right now, it's like sitting here fucking talking shit. And I actually forgot we were live. Just thought we were just having a chat. But and that's what I think the beauty of it is. And this is part of where it kind of, if we go back into the crypto art side, I think it's that speed of, what I've seen in the traditional art world is like, if an artist painted a painting or did whatever, it was so fucking hard for that artwork to be seen amongst their peers, amongst their fellow artists, collectors, all that, and proliferate. And it still could, you could put it on Instagram, but there was no real conversations around it. There was no real engagement. There was just double taps, like maybe a fucking couple of emojis in the comments. So what I've seen with, to me, with the NFT side of things, and that, verging off in, you've got the crypto art kind of genre on the side there. It's like, well, it's allowed everything to work at light speed, and it's the money, the financial aspect that became making it people paying more attention. Of like, I bought this for $100, I bought this X copy for fucking $100 and sold it for 300,000 or whatever. That makes people pay attention to it, but then almost by default they become these new art collectors, because they're like, wow, I want a part of this, and then they start loving it. And that's the part that I'm, both Jane and I are really loving, is is we've got this new age collector that's coming in. The kids that, when they were kids, they were collecting fucking Pokemon cards or fucking Tarzos or whatever you call them, different fucking things. And they're reliving that collector side of things, but they've got a refined taste now, and they're starting to understand art. So we're seeing this new age. We get collectors coming in here that are like, they feel, I can tell they feel like uncomfortable talking too much about the artists and the artworks they've collected, because they feel like they're not well enough in the art world. But we just like sit there and go, we don't give a fuck how much you know about the artist. The fact that you're collecting it and you're happy, that's fucking killer. And they're the kind of things that we love about the kind of crypto art side of things. Is it's that patronage coming from people that aren't the quintessential fucking silver spoon patrons. These are people that are working at McDonald's or fucking working at fucking In-N-Out, wherever.
And that's like, it's such a thing now for me, because I mean, if you throw me X copy style money, I won't say no, because there's plenty that I can use that for, and etc. But it's like, space lasagna for me on Tezos is kind of like the very approachable, kind of like, it's tough, because I do want to make larger sums of money, because then I can do more things with it. And at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it's such a thing, because like some collectors like, why are you selling it for so cheap? I invested, and they want to come up on the, and for me, sort of I feel like the pieces that are like, especially, there's something to them, like they'll travel well through time, you know what I mean? And maybe hopefully they'll sell for more or whatever. But it's like, it's that thing once again of like that weird balance between being accessible, because if somebody doesn't have money and wants to collect something of mine that they love, especially, I'm like, man, I want to support that. Like, I want to, it's something that's been on my mind.
It's the hardest balance, man. Like, it's like I always said at the start, 2017, 2018, 2019, and I still kind of say it, but tell a lot of emerging artists to try stack collectors, not Ethereum or not Bitcoin or not Sats. It's kind of like, you want to get your artwork into people's hands, but you also need to do it in a way that it's like, it's not draining you. You're not, you're financially fucking taken care of. And luckily, assuming, people like yourself, me, fucking other artists out there, we can live on a shoestring. We can live with, we love the fucking food that we eat. We've got a roof over our heads. So it gives us the ability and the luxury of being able to fucking produce art and make it affordable for fucking people. Everyone's got their different situation, and it's kind of like there's no blanket for how an artist needs to price their work or fucking edition their work or styles or anything. There is no fucking blanket. You literally have to sit with every fucking artist and just find out what they want out of fucking life of art. You want to just, and most of them are just like, I just want to keep creating, and pay the bills. But yes, shitloads of money would be fucking amazing, because you're going to do shitloads bigger fucking things. That's what I always say. I'm like, Oshi wants to, I wish Oshi made fucking millions and millions of dollars, because we would just be spending millions and millions of dollars back into doing fucking super cool shit for the community. Because, we don't need fucking Ferraris and Lambos in the fucking driveway. Maybe we could get the house renovated. That might work, stop it leaking. But, it's like, how much does one person need, or a couple?
Yeah. And I mean,
Jane's looking at me going, I want a new car. Her car just broke down. So,
well, it's funny, like when the Rarible thing popped off, right? Like, we got rewarded because we're selling like Robin is both selling a lot of volume, and then it mooned, and so like it was funny because the week before Crypto Art Show 2, I remember thinking, I'm going to be able to buy a Ferrari because it was Rari yellow, Rari, you know. So I even went to the dealership in Beverly Hills to like take pictures of Ferrari, and I made some art, and I just knew that I'd be able to buy a Ferrari. So like that week of the show, like technically that morning, I could have gone and bought a Ferrari for the show with the mooning of the coin.
I know. I fucking remember the time when it was like fucking Rary was fucking. I think it got to like it might have been 80, but fucking it was like a $40 or something, wasn't it?
I cashed it out at 8, and I could have, you know what I mean? Like but it's one of those things where like I ended up putting that money right back into art, most of it, really. And like instead of the Ferrari, I'd rather support the artist just because it was, you know, and I'd do it, you know, like I'll fucking do it again. And it's like, because you know, sometimes it's nice to swag, sometimes it's nice to, you know, enjoy the finer things in life. But yeah, I mean, I've ridden around in you know Maybachs, and I've ridden around in like piece of shit, you know, like old barely works Barbie car that is like a death trap, you know what I mean? And it's like that contrast of the ability to like do both in different parts of your life, like I think is the richness of it all. Like the first time I went to Paris was on a study abroad trip, and I told myself I'm going to come back here as a backpacker, poor, and I'm going to come back here like balling out. And it's funny the power of intention and like the power of putting these things out, you know, and sharing it with people, because like that's exactly what happened. Like 2 years later, I went back there as a backpacker, you know, like eating like gelato, staying at hostels, and then, you know, I think um, another time I came back staying at like the Buddha Bar Hotel and going to Crazy Horse, you know, and like basically like the 5-star experience. So it's I think you learn a lot in all the different types of experiences, and I think that's where like you and I share a lot of commonalities. I think like that just through travel and through being able to navigate every type of caste system, if you will.
And you need like it does. Like one of the traps though I see a lot of artists kind of fall into, and this goes to the, if you're doing it via awareness, like what you were just saying, it's like, yeah, I'm going to go and do this to experience it that way, and then I will experience it this way as well. Like there's kind of motivation in seeing the worlds in different experiences. But it's one of the traps I see a lot of artists go through, and we have done over the past decade, even 2 decades that we've been dealing with artists, is the I don't create my best work unless I am fucking at the rock bottom. that there, and we've all been there. Like I was there. I used to be like, fuck, I created this. Fucking, that's amazing. And I was absolutely broke. I was fucking poor. I was fucking depressed, stressed, everything that went with it. So you kind of get this mentality where it's like, I need to be that to create the artwork. And like, it's like, no, you know, your mind is fucking just, that's a little part of your mind telling you that, but your mind's still fucking there. All the concepts are there. And, but yes, adding those experiences are great. Seeing the fucking lows, seeing the highs, but understanding where you find an equilibrium as you as a person, you know, mind, body, spirit, health, all that kind of shit is really important. And that's why, like, you know, I know like where you're going at the moment, like you're talking about fucking carrot juice or fucking whatever, fucking all the other things that you're doing, and it's great. It's like cool, and that's your number one tool is your fucking mind. Out of anything you've fucking got, you know, people forget to fucking take care of it. So yeah, that there to me is like those experiences are fucking amazing. So it's awesome to be in a fucking 12 person fucking hostel room. Some people don't show up until fucking 6 a.m. So you get 2 hours sleep and whatever, but you're partying all night and get no sleep. And you know, we've all been there, but yeah, like relying on your art being produced from those lows and those lows only is a fucking one-way ticket to not going anywhere, you know, except into the ground really quick.
Yeah, and you know, it's something that I feel like I got in a similar vein. I got a little almost like addicted to delirium states, right? So sort of, I was like, I think some part of me convinced myself that I make my best work when I'm like out of my mind, or I'm, and I have, but like it becomes sort of unsustainable as a strategy, because then it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna like, I'm like, oh, I'm making art when my liver is not functioning. You know what I mean? It's like, well,
Yeah.
it's not gonna be
I'm
a
making
good.
my best art with 1 foot in the fucking ground, in the grave. But yeah, it's 100%, man. Like, and it's, look, you can make fucking art either end. Like the whole thing is, it's good to have those experiences of delirium, but like, and or anything else, exhaustion, fucking, being high on fucking mushrooms, fucking cocaine, anything else, whatever. But it's learning that equilibrium of fucking keeping it at least going, yeah, I hit that, but let's bring it back. And then work out how to produce, how to take that fucking moment and be able to produce on a fucking level. That's when it gets fucking amazing. So many artists that I've met that have just gone to they've found their fucking zen, and it's just like they're clean. Like, don't get me wrong, I fucking love partying. I love going out. Well, you seen in Miami, you know, love to go out and have benders and fucking all nighters here and there. But also too, I'm completely aware of going like, all right, I need to get myself back into check more often than not. Kind of go from there. But yeah, it's still fucking. Anyway, I love the shit. Making art.
Likewise, man. It's such a. I feel like it's an
Yeah, what do you? Jane's like yelling out from the background. You come ask.
Max,
Yes.
what are you fucking working on? What are you doing? Gosh.
Several. I mean, a lot of things. So the one thing that I want to do is my current somewhat big time obsession is to launch a CubeSat into space and then open source data for like generative, maybe even like AI powered stuff that people can have access to.
On chain or
Like into space.
oh bullshit! Have you heard of Turbo Toad Token?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I think they're doing something with artwork in space or NFTs in space.
It's something I actually thought was like, this is kind of a stupid thing, and then I think it was Jay Greathouse. It was like, oh, just like there's things to do, and I think like, yeah, fuck it, why not? And just because it's also a difficult undertaking, right? And I think like the more I go into these different things, I'm beginning to say, because it's difficult is why I want to do it, not because it's easy, because I think it's far more rewarding to like achieve, I mean, like even the crypto art journey for me is just like, holy shit, I'm like known around the world. That's dope. You know what I mean? And it was just like a lot of putting it in, like a lot of putting in the work and a lot of, like I look at my collection now and I'm just like, holy shit, I've produced a lot of stuff. But just like, just like GT was saying, a lot of it just came from like the necessity of it, like waking up every day in LA and being like, well, I gotta eat and I gotta, and so like Goldburn picked up a lot of pieces during those. I mean, everybody picked up a lot of pieces during those times, and there's stuff I look at and I was like, oh shit, I made this. I don't even remember making this, because it was just a lot. So it's like, I don't know.
Were they all NFTs or like physical paintings and stuff as well?
I mean, mostly NFTs, mostly digital. Like, I mean, I looked at. Now I'm starting to catalog a little bit of it, and I'm just like, damn, that's a lot of pieces. I'm like looking through this stuff, and it's through different galleries, and now I'm trying to sort of contextualize a little bit because just for my own sake, and I think for the sake of my collectors. But it's also just like a lot of stuff. So, and it's all named weird. So like even
because you'll just forget the name.
or just like I would make it like weird ciphery text, because at one point I thought it'd be cool if it was like not really indexable or not really like searchable, and I kind of did that for a while, and then now I'm like, oh yeah, it's I can't even search for it because it's not like normal text, or it's like um
That's interesting. I actually really like that idea that it's not searchable, but then it also makes it, like, from my point of view, so fucking hard to reference and to like
yeah,
send people
exactly.
that way. You should come up with some like code that outputs the names, or like a season, which is every year. So at least you know what year you made the artwork. So, you know, it can be like
Yeah.
something cryptographic, like you said, a word, and then the artwork title. And then you're like, well, at least I know that that was fucking 2023 because it's got this specific kind of like series title or like collection
I
title.
think the really cool aspect of it in coming up is because AI can read the context of these things. I feel like there's gonna be, just because it is so broad and there's so many pieces, and they don't really fit a particular model or like a category, and this is something I'm thinking about, like, oh, it's by year or by this theme or something like that. I feel like it'll be really cool to be able to use AI to sort through or sift through or say, or even like, if you have a mood ring, or you like, I don't like sort of broadcasting my biometrics out into the cloud, but some people do, and it's like, oh, what if my heart rate is at this level and my theta brainwave state is matching this, almost on like a Neuralink level, for the AI to be like, oh, well, it feels like today you'd like to take a look at this artwork or something like that,
Yeah.
It's kind
Oh
of
yeah, that would be next level. That's it's gonna happen. I know
yeah.
that there's I think GT mentioned something a while ago about, in hotel rooms, might be giving a bit of alpha away, but we're too fucking busy to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just have the screens in the hotel rooms that basically curate the artwork, based on your Apple Watch or your like
Just on your
browser
likes,
history.
your
So it's all
taste.
just like tits and ass because it's been looking at your browser history.
I'm walking through a hotel and
That's their browser.
that's all the porn I've saved, screenshot. Like,
on the
oh,
screen.
No, but it's more like it comes into the kind of AR, XR experience later that we're going to experience in 5, 10 years, 20 years. But it will be where it's like you've got a profile and your art profile is open, to whatever. But when you go to a hotel room, it is decked out with artworks that you like digitally. It's like, oh, fucking cool. It's like home, or fucking that's a new artist I'm experiencing or something. Anyway, shit that we're not going to build, but we just come up with stupid ideas.
Yeah. I think we're here on the same wavelength with fucking crazy ideas, which is exciting for the future, but obviously we probably don't have the capacity to do it.
Well, but like these capacities are going to be handed to us, I think. Also, it's like, to me, I think that one of those moments is like feeding a piece into ChatGPT 4 that I made years ago, and asking, even like giving it context of how I want to hear it. Hey, what's up? And it spits out. I can be like, give me a college level like professional art review and tell me about like what style this is in and how like I could ask it to do these very sophisticated things of like classifying my art, or even making a poem about, like make a poem about this piece and what it represents, and either my favorite author in that style. You know what I mean? It's just like those kind of capabilities, I think, were already at our fingertips, and to structure it even for ourselves, to have fun with it, I think it's becoming more and more negligible.
Yeah. So when are you shipping this artwork to space? When are you doing the code in space?
Well, I haven't really. It's something I've like I emailed them years ago, like 2021. I have like emails basically being just the Jet Propulsion Laboratory in California, because I learned about CubeSats actually at Crypto Art Show 2. This guy came in and he like late night we were geeking out over this stuff, and he's like, yeah, these are, you know, you can base, it's kind of like you just pay the Artemis spacecraft to send this thing up to you. I mean, obviously you'll have to tell them what to build for you, and then they'll build it, and it costs like about $1 million, you know, because quite a bit of fuel. But you know, it's but it's like, but you know, it's like you're going up with all the other payloads, so it's not as much. And I think and the prices have gone down to, and it's kind of like this is bananas to me, you know, watching this stuff like back in the day, and now it's like, oh, it's just available. All you got to do is just contract with NASA and you know, just fundraise for the fuel. And I don't know, it's like it's one of those like really big fun ideas that I'm just like, why not? I don't know why. You know what I mean, everyone else is doing it. Why not? Why not?
Well,
Absolutely.
this is what so Rhett Mankind, who's I think Jane just mentioned the turbo thing, but there's a company in, I think they're in Germany or Belgium, but they send it up via a hot air balloon, and the balloon pops and all that fucking balloon, and it's way cheaper, like fucking way cheaper, so you can send your own shit up there.
Dude, I could, you know what? I have a tank of helium in my garage right now. I could probably,
Let's do it.
I could probably put a USB stick inside of a balloon and do it. But the point is not to do it cheap.
Send it. Try and send that shit over here to Australia.
Well, I mean, if I think, if it's as well, I mean, you know, I couldn't even get a proper video cast started earlier tonight. So it's all with a giant grain of salt.
I think, yeah. Well, let's get the video streaming down pat first, and then work towards shit going to space.
Oh man, I'm like, I gotta pee again, so I think I'm gonna cut this a bit shorter. But dude, thank you for giving me a tour. Like, I love seeing real people do real things IRL, and you know what I mean, like you're like, I consider you my family at this point, just because like you're doing it, and I appreciate you guys. And
likewise, man. Like, it's I think we've for all of us anyway, you know, a lot of us have been through the bull and bears, or thick and thin, and we get it. And I think this helps a lot, especially with the IRL meeting. You know, you get to know people a hell of a lot better.
Yeah.
You can see past, you know, fucking a lot of context that's, you know, shouted out on social media. You can't read tones, you can't fucking see the mannerisms, you can't see the excitement or whatever. Unless you're writing in caps lock all the time, you just know someone's fucking overly excited. But like, you know, it's for us, like Miami this year was even a stretch for us to go there, and I had to use frame, you know, shout. I forgot he didn't come.
I was
but literally, I mean, for us in general, when we do these things, we're more excited about the artist, meeting the artist and talking with the artist, and not for, hey, come to it. I don't think I told one person when I was in fucking Miami, like, let's have an exhibition. I might have drunkenly said it with you and Robness, but that's not what we're there for. We just want to meet the fucking artists. That's like this is like what we fucking love. Like, everyone's there going, oh, talking to CEO 1, 2, 3, fucking 4, 5, 6, and I'm just like, I actually knocked back a few CEOs of some pretty big firms there, and I just said, look, I'm drunk. I'm like, I don't want to talk fucking business right now. And there's my boys over there fucking tripping balls, fucking, running around fucking the backyard. So it's like, fucking literally for us, that's what we fucking love doing, and these connections. And I was like, Robness was one that I was stoked to fucking see. Wasn't sure if I was going to see you, but I was like, fucking hope so. And we got to fucking finalize our beef. I don't even think it was beef. I think it was spam. We literally, that to me was highlights amongst the other artists. Fucking Kate Buddha, fucking Empress Trash, fucking everyone, Gersh, fucking. It was an amazing fucking time, and that to me, I came back and like Jane's like, all right, if you speak to any of the companies there, and I'm like,
nah.
yeah. But anyway, it's dude, much love. Your family to us, and we need to get your ass out here over to Australia. We've got a spare bedroom at home. That's our artist retreat, and it's designed for artists to come and stay. We just got to work out how to get you here, finance it, get it all done, fly out.
Yeah, one of us needs to talk to more of these CEOs. You know what I mean? Like,
I think I think honestly, like one of my concepts to be able to start doing this, because Australia is such a far kind of destination, is we're looking at doing like a DXP, so a digital X physical drop, at maybe an edition of 100. So there'll be an NFT and a print. We sell it for X amount of dollars, hopefully to the local community, but whoever's going to buy it, you get it for the NFT and the print. And whatever funds are raised from that are raised to bring out the artist for an exhibition here. So, if I can sell 100 editions at 0.1 ETH or fucking whatever, 0.1 ETH is probably $1 million at the moment. But if we can do that, it's enough to pay for accommodation, flights, and put the event on. And the artists can do whatever the fuck they want.
I mean, it'd be cool to have like a network of almost like WeWork, except it's just like artist residencies, you know. And I think people are starting to do that. And different, like I got it offered, Paris. It's just I got my own things to straighten out on my end. Like I need to get my passport renewed, and it's just like last summer I tried to, and then I showed up to the airport and my flight got canceled, and they were just like, sorry, buddy. And I was like, wait, I had a whole thing. I had to go to Puerto Rico, and I had a hotel. I couldn't get a refund on my hotel. It's just like, it's wild how travel has become sort of this like, well, yeah, we're just not going to fly today. And you're just like, oh, wait, but can I get like my I don't know. And it's just
it's like, fuck.
Well, you didn't read the 15 pages of fine print?
Yeah, right.
But anyway, we'll work towards that. That's now we've got Vectress or Steve. He's fucking amazing. He's one of Australia's top art and tech coders, developers. He's right up there for XR and AR and all that kind of shit. And, he's now on the team, the Oshi team, so it kind of helps us do more shit. So anyway, we'll consider us like happy to have an exhibition with you one day. We want your ass here for the exhibition. And whether it's an artist residency or not, I would prefer you be here and just get to experience Australia.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it'll happen. If we say it'll happen, it's abracadabra.
Abracadabra. All right, brother.
Yeah, it was awesome speaking with you, legends. I've been listening to the whole thing, so yeah, it's awesome. I think many more of these for you, and we'll be listening in no matter what.
Yeah, just be wary of the Australian time zone. But
apparently, I thought I even asked AI to help me figure it out, and it
yeah, I was a fucking. But I tell you, a really good time for EST we're nearly to AEST, so Australian Eastern Standard Time. We're in daylight savings at the moment, but a really good time, your time, is around 6-7 p.m. That's about 10-11 a.m. our time. So it's kind of a really nice kind of so just be wary of that. If you're doing your shows, at least do them at 6 p.m. ish your time.
So you can at least have 2 Aussies listening in.
It's one of the best global times to actually capture. I think the UK is like 11 p.m. at night or something like that. I don't know. But anyway.
I call it the Nifty Gateway timeline because Nifty Gateway used to always do their drops. It was like
6 p.m.
6 p.m. New York time, 9 a.m. Melbourne, 10 p.m. London. Like it was all within kind of a
It's
day.
accessible globally.
Okay.
The Nifty Gateway timeline.
Anyway, we'll let you go. You need a piss.
Yeah.
I already just pissed my pants, so it's all right.
All right, brother. Sending much love and thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you for hanging out.
We'll see you on the timeline, brother.
Yeah.
See you, bro.
See you, bud.
How the fuck do I exit this? Bye-bye.